the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we are here at Talladega for the NSRA Sunday Select Series Key Realty 199.5. Thank you very much for joining me in the final race of the regular season here on Sunday night. My name is KR Stolfus, and in the booth with me is somebody who may or may not get fired. We're not sure yet. That's Travis Elliott.
Please, I need this job.
Well, it sounds like the house just collapsed around you, so
Yeah.
maybe you need to throw some money at some house repairs.
I mean, I live in an apartment, so that's not up to me. But no, it was just a door closing. But apologize for that.
All right, so here we are, Travis. Final race in the regular season. Top 12 drivers going to make it in, and nobody right now has 2 wins this season. As we go ahead and take a quick look at our points coming into race number 10 of 13, Paul Servant leading. Dana Osborne has 1 win on the season, but he's already in 12th place. Dangerous position to be in, especially considering Todd and Les right there in 13th and 14th, not too far behind him.
Yeah, the points race been close all season, and that last transfer spot is probably going to be a dogfight in this last race of the season for the 3-race chase. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun one tonight.
Well, as qualifying gets underway, we're going to wipe that out, and we're going to take a look at how our drivers are going to qualify here tonight. They're already making their way out onto the speedway. That is the 37 of J.R. Johnson, and you will note that the cars are going to look a little bit different here tonight. We are using the B-Class car here on Sunday night. The Cup package has been removed from the Sunday Select Series, and we're going to finish out this season with the B car.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Cup car is, the racing is not as close, as all of us would like, but the B car is a good substitute. Races quite a bit, like a very close comparison to the Cup car. Make a lot of moves. The cars are a little bit more difficult to drive, a little bit more difficult to handle because there's not as much downforce in these cars, so it can get a little wild running 3 wide, and around Talladega I wouldn't expect anything less. So it should be interesting to see how these guys adjust to the Xfinity car for these last 4 races of the season.
It will be interesting. Several drivers already out on the speedway. Right now we're looking at the 44 of Anthony English. Anthony across the start finish line to begin his first time lap. Drivers have 5 minutes to turn 2 laps, and the driver of the 44, well, he's riding it high, wide, and handsome right now. Paul Servant in the 3 machine gonna flash across the start finish line and begin his first time to lap. No one having a time just yet, as we're only a minute into this thing. It takes about a minute and 10 seconds to do a out lap around Talladega.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I would say minute, about minute 10, yeah. And the Xfinity cars are just like a tad bit slower than the Cup cars. About in the draft, about 8 to 10 miles an hour slower than the Cup cars. So speeds won't be as high as we saw. Like a few weeks ago, we saw, you know, speeds up to 207, 208 around the around Daytona and Talladega. Obviously, iRacing Super Speedway, you're running 230, 240, so it's not much of a comparison, but a little bit lower speeds, but just as close racing as before, as Paul Servant is right now fastest man on track. Oh no, he's not. I am sorry. That is Josh Milam with a 54.226. So pretty quick lap by him.
JR Johnson jumping up into 4th place in the 37 machine. Daniel Holloway 5th, Mark Mann 6th. Several of these drivers just beginning their second lap. The 44 machine of Anthony English gonna cross the start finish line for his faster lap, and English gonna move up into 6th. Meanwhile, Mark Mann putting it on pole with a 54.22. He is put Josh Milam down to 2nd place. Qualifying times rolling in very quickly now. Jimmy Reynolds in the 28, right along the grass, heading for the start finish line. The 28 machine going to be up into 7th. Solid qualifying effort by the 28. Sean Wilder in the 91, finding himself in 10th. Jason Grames in the 51 machine here tonight, gonna work his way through the trial right now. He is on a lap that does not count. He's doing an extra lap, so that one yeah, not gonna count for him. 54.32 is where he stays at.
Well, looking at the gaps of this top 5 KR, between first and second, that's 1,000th of a second, and up to 5th is 100th of a second in speed difference. So very close in this top 5 group right here. Everybody's coming out and showing that they're ready to race in these Xfinity cars around this Talladega Super Speedway for this final race of the season.
All right, with that being said, we're going to step away from the national anthem. We'll be back. back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers have started to pace around this big bad mamma jamma we know as Talladega. That means it is time to go through tonight's starting lineup. Mark Mann in the 04 on pole with a 54.224. Josh Milam on his outside, just 1/1000th of a second slower. Paul Servant, Hunter Reynolds for row 2. Row 3 going to be Donald Sadusky and Dana Osborne. Row number 4 going to be the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds. On his outside, the 44 of Anthony English. Row number 5 going to be the 4 of Chris Akers and the 21 of Daniel Holloway.
In row number 6, the 62 of Les Levy and the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Row number 7, the 37 of J.R. Johnson and the 27 of Sean Stevens. Row number 8, the 51 of Jason Grahams and the 63 of Michael Hinton. In row number 9, that's going to be the 61 of DJ Mitzel and the 82 of Daniel Harrington. And on the final row, the 711 of Scorman Herman and the 31 of Todd Austin.
Starting a lineup done and over with. And Travis Elliott, as a broadcaster, you messed up just a little bit, so you will see him scrolling across the ticker, but he is not in the race. He's in the booth with me. Thank you for joining me here, Travis.
I mean, I always love being up in the booth. I love watching these guys race it out. And I'm looking forward to 75 laps of white knuckle racing around Talladega as the field creeps ever so slowly towards this green flag. Mark Mann with a huge lead already. Green flag is out. The outside line's rolling not so quick, but they had quite a bit of advantage on that outside. They're going to build up that speed a little bit faster. So Mark Mann, your leader. Oh, got starting to stack up already in the back, KR. I believe that was...
Got some separation here.
Yeah.
Jason Graham's in the 51. Not quite to the back bumper of the cars in front of him. He's falling back quickly. The 31 of Todd Poston. He is back there as well.
Yeah, I think there was some contact between him and the 82.
Yeah.
Yeah.
82 showing a little bit of bumper damage, so there you go. But front of the field formed up nice and tight. We got two wide racing for the lead here. Someone's got to lead the first lap. Right now, Mark Mann has the advantage for the moment. Josh Milam trying to use that second lane to get by with some help from the 26, but here comes the 91 and the 21 using that third lane already.
Yeah, that you can do a lot more in this car than what we saw last week with that Cup package. You can already see 3 wide, working hard, working easy. 2 cars pulling up through that field. They're going to get the 4 of the fellow Reese's Cup car of Chris Akers, and he's going to go up to the wall with his teammates. Which I believe the 91 is running with the Candy Shack stable tonight. So we'll see how well they can make that outside line work with 3 cars. I'm assuming they're going to get more cars here eventually. But 3 wide, 3 rows deep for coming to lap number 3, KR. Already bringing some more excitement than we've seen previously. Everybody's out here showing that they want to get some points and get into the championship races next week.
DJ Mitzel, fastest lap of the race, a 50.19. I expect we will see that lap time fall throughout this race. Everyone turning their fastest laps that last time around. So these cars up to full speed. Everybody really laying it down. Josh Milam sliding down in front of the 04 Mark Mann, but Sean Wilder still in that third lane, still has some Candy Shack Motorsports support in the 21 and the 4. Right behind him. They're falling back a little bit, not pinching down a whole lot on that middle lane there, Travis. But I'll tell you what, it's okay to be up there and logging some laps right now.
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt. I always say that I would rather you try something early on to see if you can get something to work. But of course, as the race goes on, more opportunities will show themselves, especially on that wall. But yeah, if you want to make that outside line work to your advantage, you got to pinch that middle lane as hard as you can, and that's what would get you really rolling along that top line. But can't hurt to try early on. Don't blame them. But I'm looking back at the pack that was that had that incident at the beginning. causing that separation. The 31 of Todd Poston, the 51 of Jason Graham's, the 82 of Daniel Harrington, and the 711 of Stephen Herdman are all lined up, not too far off the pack, so they're still well within striking distance, and that 31 has got an interesting paint scheme. I don't know if you can see it, but very, very interesting taste on that 31 car tonight.
Todd, no stranger to interesting paint schemes. The Salty Zombies paint scheme, a one that stands out, and I think we have another one here that's standing out quite a little bit.
It's the blue wheels for me. But we're still 3 wide here up at the front. This time you have the 88 of Dana Osborne leading the charge on the outside, and Dana is pinching hard on that middle. And he's got the 4 of Chris Akers, his teammate, with him, as well as the 91 of Sean Wilder up there too, but not really gaining too much ground. And as I say that, they start to make a slight bit of push around the outside. They're going to get another car in the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Not really pinching down too hard now. They're not going to get that good of a run out of the turn. But Chris Akers has pretty significant damage on the rear end of his car too, KR. So I'm noticing a lot of guys having some damage already on these cars.
Some hard impacts to their rear end, trying to get that push going forward. I will say Todd Poston has turned the fastest lap for 49.91. That is flat moving around here. Everyone else is still in the 50.5, 50.4. Oh, we got trouble into the tribal. Mark Mann going around. Chris Akers in front of DJ Mitzel. Paul Savant
through the sky.
He has launched himself into the air.
I think
landed on all 4.
Paul Savant took a ride there. Oh my goodness.
And this all starts with the 04 of Mark Mann getting a shot from the 3 of Paul Savant. Hunter Reynolds gets into him, and the 3 just stuck to the wall, got launched into the air. A lot of cars involved in this incident. Let's see if we can back this up just a little bit more.
Yeah, these Xfinity cars don't bump like the if you're in the Cup cars, you probably could have got away with a bump like that, but not in these cars. They're so much more susceptible to movement when you get a bad bump. The Cup cars are so forgiving, and these cars aren't. But yeah, coming through the trial, just a bad bump, and was fortunately right at the front of the field and collected a lot of the field.
Yeah, Dana Osborne in the 88, one of those getting damaged from the incident, but our leader, the 7 of Josh Milam, able to get through that one unscathed. But I think we're going to see everyone come down pit road here, led by the 7. Going to see some fast repairs getting used.
I believe
a little early for it.
Yeah, I believe the 3 of Paul Savant had a tow also, so he is still in the pits. Yeah.
Yeah, he is in the pits. That engine exploded on him when he made contact with the wall. It looked like it exploded to the point where it could not continue.
Yeah, that catch fence definitely caught him. Did its job, and looks like it's just going to be a fuel stop for most people. Josh Milam, quick stop, 19 of Donald Sadusky. All just getting fuel. A lot of guys just getting fuel. Taking fast repairs and such. Dane Osborne took his fast repair because he has a front end now. But yeah, they were going at it early on, KR. I'm excited now.
Jimmy Reynolds coming off 3rd place from our pit stop, and do want to take a moment to give a shout out to Mara Clark and Ken checking in on YouTube chat. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you all are enjoying the show.
Always a fun time at the turn 3. In the turn 3 booths with us, KR, obviously.
Well,
We're okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I
three-
registered as a driver again.
It happens. The 3 of Paul Servant down and away. He is no longer on the lead lap, only 1 lap down. We'll see if he can get back on the lead lap, get back into this thing. He's going to need the help of a caution to do that. So he is now very dependent on a caution. And good news for him, he does have 1 win on the season and came into tonight sitting quite comfortably at the top of the leaderboard in the points. So pretty much a shoe-in to make it as one of our 12 drivers in the championship. But still, you always kind of want to have that extra momentum going into a 3-race championship battle.
Well, I mean, seeing how he's going to get some of that that Canadian luck, and he's going to be back up here racing for first place in no time. I feel like whenever something bad happens to that 3 car, something immediately happens to change that, and he's always back up in like the top 5, top 10, no matter what happens. But lights are out on the pace car, 2x2, going green this time by the 7 of Josh Milam, and the 19 of Donald Sadusky is going to be your front row, leading us back to the green flag, followed by the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds and the 31 of Todd Austin. And I think a few more guys. Did a few people hit pit road there?
Yeah, we did have a few drivers come down pit lane as the lights went out on the pace car. They were already at the back. Might as well top off the fuel tank, get a little extra fuel in there, try and stretch out your run as long as possible.
You get that extra half gallon, which it can make a difference, especially with a race that's we've already had a caution that cuts into 1 year pit stops that you don't have to take later on, so or you can go a little bit longer, a little bit later, or something of that nature. That definitely already can be calculating your fuel mileage for the race and doing the race backwards, which we've seen. I don't know. I feel like whenever we've had like a fuel mileage race, it was always at iRacing, not so much here. Could be wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong also, but you never know. We might have a fuel mileage race around Talladega.
It can happen at any race we go to.
That is true.
All right,
is
so
true, KR.
Front row, the 7 of Josh Milam, the 19 of Donald Sadusky. Row number 2 going to be the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds. On his outside, the 31 of Todd Poston. Row 3, the 7-11, Squirmin' Herman himself. On his outside, the 91 of Sean Wilder. Top 3 rows ready to go. In fact, looks like all of our drivers are ready and raring to go. Pace car getting out of the way. It wants no part of what's about to happen next, because Josh Milam going to stab that throttle, and we are going to get back to green flag racing. The 7 and the 19 slowly bringing this field to the green flag through the tri-oval, and away we go once again.
Yeah, and you can see a lot of people in that inside line. Hunter Reynolds is going to be the first one to jump up with Dana Osborne behind him. And those are all the guys that hit pit road at the 1 to go. Nothing really going to happen in the back, though, but Josh Milam gets a pretty good start. He has the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds on his bumper, keeping him in front of that 19 of Donald Sadusky, which I do say that 19 car looks very sharp to me. But getting a great push from the 31 there. He's going to get some help in a minute from the 21 of Daniel Holloway, being followed by Les Levy and Hunter Reynolds. That top side forming up quite quickly. Nobody's going to the wall yet. We might see people be a little bit more subdued, but as soon as I say that, the 88 of Dana Osborne goes up to that 3rd lane. No help as the field, mostly in the middle, not really formed up. Outside line has the advantage, and the 19 of Donald Sadusky is going to show that by leading this lap. Might even be able to clear Josh Milam, and he does going into turn 1, KR.
Drops it down to that yellow line heading into turn number 1. That puts the 31 leading the charge in the outside lane. The 21 of Holloway right behind him. Les Levy in the 62 got some banged up damage on the front nose of that 62 machine, but he is staying tucked in tight to the back bumper of Holloway. We're going to try 3 wide here as the 4 Chris Akers goes up to the top side. The 61 of DJ Mitzel going to go with him.
Yep, and Chris is doing the right thing by pinching down. Les looks like he's trying to go up and clear the 4 or maybe block that runner, wanting to take that momentum away, but the 4 was already there. Les is trying it again. 4 Chris Akers goes to the outside of him. I don't know how many more times Les is going to be able to do that. And the 4 Chris Akers is going to be even with him this time. DJ Mitzel pushing him. DJ is an excellent pusher, and you can see by them making some moves here. And the 21 is going to jump up in front of his teammate, and the 7-11 of Squirman Herman is going to be pulling off the track.
Yeah, he is pulled down to the inside. He is slammed on the brakes. Gathering himself back in. Not sure what happened to him. It dropped all the way down to the apron. Slowed down big time.
Maybe he saw that we're 3 wide, 4 rows deep. Well, not quite 4 rows deep, but we have 4 on the top, 2 in the middle, and a whole lot on bottom formed up. And that outside line is really making their way forward. The 2 Reese's cars and the 61 and the 3. And look, KR, there's a 3. He's still a lap down, but he's going to go try to get his lap back the hard way, as that middle line's not really moving forward. The 19 is doing a great job keeping Josh ahead. Almost 2 car lengths on the 31 there. But that middle line with Hunter pushing the 31 is going to keep that momentum through the middle and not allow Josh to jump up. And the 91 is going to join that middle line. I believe the 27 is also going to join that middle line. So, KR, we're going to be 4 rows deep, 3 wide on lap 13 coming to 14 at Talladega Motor Speedway.
Riding on board with Sadusky as he is battling on this inside line, pushing hard on the 7. You can see just how intense it is in the cockpit. He's trying hard to stay tight to that 7 as he wiggles all over the track. In comparison to what we're seeing, 3 wide racing, get your heart rate up a little bit as a driver, especially someone in the middle.
Oh yeah. When you're in the middle, you're not really at a disadvantage aero wise. It's more of a disadvantage just with how much racing surface you have, because if you can get like an onboard with the 4, well, he's airing out his car right now, but that outside line is essentially in the same lane as that middle line door to door, and they are very close. And that's kind of the disadvantage of being in the middle, is you don't have a lot of space. You can't really make a mistake. You really have to, as a guy on the outside or on the inside of that middle lane, you have to really trust that they're going to be able to hold their line and not make a movement, because any move, like we saw earlier, a little bit of a bad bump, bad push, small checkup, anything can send the cars into madness and create another big one.
One big wreck already happening coming through the tri-oval. I believe that was lap 6. We are working lap 15 of 75. Our scheduled distance here tonight as Sean Wilder slides up to the top side there, just in front of one of his teammates. They are kind of fizzling out in that 3rd lane.
Yep. The 31 got clear of that bottom, and the 4 kind of jumped back in line, and they kind of fell apart. That's what can happen too. You're out on the outside pushing really hard. You get hot, you air it out, and you lose all your momentum. You have to start back over. Wouldn't be surprised if before too long they'll be right back alongside the 7 and the 31, racing for that first position. Right now, the 31 of Todd Poston leading the field. 19 of Don Sadusky is doing a great job keeping him there. And I believe the 7 is going to clear the 31 with some great pushing by that 26 of Hunter Reynolds. And just as I say that, the 91 and the 21 are starting to make their moves to the outside. And the 7's gonna clear that bottom lane. A lot of tight racing still, KR. These guys are they're putting everything on the line to get into the playoffs here.
Yeah, only 12 drivers making it into the playoff coming into this race. The 31 machine was one position out. Nobody having 2 wins to lock themselves into the championship. And so that means that if we get another first-time winner, everyone will be decided by points. And that 31 machine, he's trying to get himself into this championship contention. A win just might do it. He doesn't have one yet this season, but man, sitting that close to the points, he is literally just 4 points behind Dana Osborne before this race started.
Yeah, I mean, a win would definitely shoot him into that top 12, but also goes the other way. If the 88 of Dana Osborne gets another win, that confirms him, or Dana Osborne gets a solid finish ahead of him. And the points are so close, and with having to win twice, it just makes every race count even more. As we're back 2 by 2, outside line's completely gone, and as soon as I say that, the 3 of Paul Servant peeks to the outside of the 21, falls back in line, and he's gonna try to go back to the outside of his teammate there. I don't know if he's gonna have any help from the 91, or if Paul is trying to get Daniel and Chris to jump up there to that top and try to make something happen, but they're gonna get a great run out of turn number 2. 31's definitely gonna get clear of Hunter.
Looked like a big shot by the 4 of Akers to the back bumper of the 31 as he came down to the inside lane.
Yeah, he gave him a monster push and got him clear of Hunter there. And that's also something with these cars. Ooh, now the 4 is gonna get a huge run. These cars, when you build up some momentum with them and really give a shove, you can push for quite a bit. These cars run no tape, so the car tends to not heat up as fast. You can cool it off fairly quickly, so you can stick to somebody's bumper for maybe a lap or 2, like really stick to their bumper and push as hard as you can to try to make something happen. And right there, the 4 almost got clear, but DJ had to air out just a little bit. Hunter was able to stay on the 31's bumper there and keep him ahead of the 4. The 91 of Sean Wilder is dropping to the back of this main pack. I say main pack, but there's only 3 cars that are not 2 by 2, which I believe those were, yeah, so it was the 51 of Jason Graham's, the 04 of no, that is not the 04. Yeah, it is. That is the 04 of Mark Van, and the 27 of Sean Stevens kind of chilling out back there.
Stephen Herman in the 7-Eleven machine is pulled into his pit lane, or his pit stall, being serviced by his crew. Quite a long time here for the 7-Eleven, so his problems continue. He is now 1 lap down, and it looks like he's getting ready to go another lap down as the field is going to come flashing by once again. 3 wide through the trioval with the 3 of Paul Servant, trying to get his lap back the hard way, and right now he's got it. He is just nosed ahead of our race leader.
And I'm sure if they get more cars on that top, they're gonna be able to get him to drop clear of everybody there, and maybe keep him in front of the field to be on the lead lap if a caution does come out. That outside line's kind of falling apart already. The 28 of Jimmy Reynolds getting off the 88's bumper, maybe trying to hop into line. We're about 15 laps on this fuel stint, and if I remember correctly, I think for the Xfinity cars, it's about, for half fuel, I think it's about 20 laps of a little bit different fuel strategies than with the Cup car, as previously experienced around here. But I'd say they're holding the 3 wide pretty well now, Kara.
Talladega always known for having plenty of room for the 3 wide racing. Paul Servant down the back stretch, just ahead of the 4 of Chris Akers. Akers not dropping down in front of the 31 just yet. Now Todd going to have the momentum through the corner that the bottom side brings, as that top side kind of falling apart a little bit. Servant and Osborne not hooking up, and they're going to lose about 3 car lengths there.
Yeah, they had a big run about middle of the backstretch going into turn 3, and it kind of just fell apart. Dana had to back off just ever so slightly to keep that engine cool. He was pushing very hard those past couple laps, so they'll cool it down and try to make another attempt here in a lap or two. And the 19 of Sadusky gonna jump up to that top side. The 3 of Paul Servant is gonna join him up there. So is the 88. Paul has a fresh car in terms of being able to push, so he's gonna be able to push as hard as he can to get that 19 clear of the 4. Gonna kind of fizzle out though. Doing a great job keeping it pinched down tight on that middle line. The inside line being led by your well, I don't want to say race leader, because I believe the 19 is going to lead this lap here, KR. And he does. So Paul Servant's doing an excellent job. Might even, the 4 drops down to the bottom. That's going to leave the middle lane open for the 19. He doesn't take it. DJ Mitchell in the 21 of Daniel Holloway going to fill that gap. 21 is giving the 61 a huge bump. 61's going to get clear of Chris on the bottom. That was a great push by the 21 there to get the 61 clear of the 4 on the bottom there. Yeah.
So our third lane still showing some speed from time to time, but not something that looks like everyone wants to continue to run up there in that third lane, as we're going to complete lap 25, start lap 26 here. Third of the race done and over with. We're going to keep chugging right along here. That 3 machine Paul Servant, the only car on track that is 1 lap down. Stephen Herman still sitting on pit lane. I'm not sure what has happened to the 7-Eleven machine, but big problems for him. Maybe he'll get back out there, but the 61 and the 21 sitting side by side, heading off into turn number 3. And I'll tell you what, the 21 and the 61, well, they're kind of comfortably in 3rd and 4th place in the points standings, but who wouldn't want to grab another win before you start that playoff run, championship run? And the 61 of DJ Mitchell, highest running in the points order without a race win this season.
Oh, I was so close. Daniel Holloway just squeezed on past the 61. DJ gave him plenty of room, and by plenty of room I mean less than a foot. It looked like from up here on the spotter stand. It was a close clear, but yeah, they're acting like this is the final race of the season, let alone the final race of the year, let alone the end of the season. They're putting it all on the line, trying to get as many points as they can, KR, as they lead the field a lap 28, 21 laps on this stint. So they can obviously go longer than 20 laps. The 88 Dana Osborne's going to jump to the bottom. I'm assuming we're going to see pit stops here in a second.
Yeah, they have started to get single file. Their fuel tanks starting to run dry. So green flag pit stops coming up here. Not necessarily the best news for the 3 of Paul Servant, but one thing that green flag pit stops cause is a lot of chaos. And that 3 machine is, as I mentioned, going to need some help from a caution to get back on the lead lap. Right now, the 88 of Dana Osborne, your race leader. And here they come.
And about half the field's gonna hit pit road. A lot of people locking up in the brakes. These Xfinity cars break a little bit different. Contact. Oh,
big contact. DJ Mitchell has gone around. I believe the 3 maybe is going to get caught speeding. He still had his brakes locked up as he was past the commitment cone or the pit entry. The 26 to Hunter Reynolds, your race leader, Josh Milam, Les Levy, Mark Mann, they all have stayed out with J.R. Johnson, Jimmy Reynolds, Dan Harrington, and Anthony English. So 8 cars stayed out.
That little bit of contact with between DJ and the 2 Reese's cars. 21 got knocked into the pit lane into the boxes. As here comes the rest of the field. See if they can hit pit road a little bit more. A lot of people locking up. Once again, Les Levy still locking up. Oh man, they're all just locking the brakes up going into pit road. KR, I think we're gonna see some penalties possibly.
Well, I will say nobody got a penalty on the first group of drivers. Their second group hits pit lane. Dana Osborne leading with Daniel Holloway pushing on his back bumper from the drivers who have made a pit stop. As we go on board with the 88, Osborne going to try and use his momentum here. Looks like he is very easily going to make his way around this pack. They are just now making their way through 1 and 2.
Yep, Josh Milam, winner out of pit road for that second group. Hunter Reynolds already on his bumper before they even hit the racing surface. Already hooked up very well. The 62 of Les Levy already has the 404 Mark Mann and the 44 of Anthony English. And here comes the 88 and 21 train chugging on by Les, Mark Mann, and Anthony. And they're going to catch up with Hunter and Josh here very quickly and just pass them right away. It's just numbers game right there. Being able to build up a full lap of momentum. Not really. They were going about 7-8 miles an hour faster, and that allowed the 88 and the 21 to clear the bottom of clear Josh and Hunter. And they are going to assume the lead of the bottom lane, and the 19 of Don Stusky is going to take the top with the 3 of Paul Servant pushing hard on the rear end of that car. Paul still wanting to get back onto the lead lap, whether he has to do it with a caution or the hard way. And it seems like he's A-okay with racing these guys and getting back on the lead lap that way. The 19's going to clear Dana Osborne on the bottom. Well, washed up a little bit. Lost a little bit of momentum there, but not too bad as they come out of turn number 4, KR.
Green flag pit stops done and over with, and everyone kind of bunching back up here. The 04 Mark Mann, a little bit of a gap back to Josh Milam. But behind them, Sean Wilder in the 91 and J.R. Johnson. That is 12th and 13th place. They are 2.5 seconds behind our race leader. And Dan Harrington in the 82 falling back a little bit. Sean Stevens working with Michael Hinton. That is 15th and 16th. So green flag pit stops have spread this field out. Chris Akers and DJ Mitchell, final 2 cars on the lead lap. They are at the tail end here in 17th and 18th. And, we saw DJ in trouble on pit entry. That is exactly what it has cost him.
Yeah, him and the 4, they were the ones that made contact as they were just 3 wide for a split second up front once again. But, oh my goodness, KR, they are... Paul Servant had the lead for a split second, had back on the lead lap, and then 19 of Donald Sadowski cleared him once again. They are scrapping up here. Oh, look here, there's the 88 back again. Disappeared for a second, but outside line being led by the 31 of Todd Austin. And like we always see, Carol, whenever we have green flag pit stops, the field always separates. And it really didn't separate as much as it normally does. A lot of the field is still here. I believe that was 37 of J.R. Johnson and the 91 of Sean Wilder fought right back up to the field. They're not too far off, alongside the 51 of Jason Graham's right there, who still has a little bit of rear end damage, has a little bit of front end damage too. Or no, it just looks like it's rear end damage, but he's holding, the 51 there is holding on to that fast repair for as long as he can, make sure he has as many as he needs. Up front, we have a new leader, the 31 of Todd Poston. Hunter pushed him clear of the 19 of Donald Sadusky. So it seems like that middle line can form up a pretty decent run and clear people on the bottom. I'm wondering if that's been if anybody else is noticing that, or maybe that outside line has a little bit more momentum than people think tonight. And here comes the 91 and the 37 as they go into turn 1K, right on, not too far off the bumper of the 21 of Dana. Oh, big checkup on the bottom.
Oh, Dana's down below the apron. Gathers it back in. Everyone behind Dana was taking evasive action. 44 machine of Anthony English went from the bottom to the top so fast I thought he was involved in the crash.
Yeah, that was less, thankfully Les saw the 88 checkup. Had a little bit of contact. It was a hard checkup though. Les got into him just a little bit, but no harm, no foul. Everybody's still running straight and not having too many issues, so we stay green. No real incident going on. The 7's going to get a big push by the 21 of Daniel Holloway. And Paul Serrant's going to go back to that outside. Oh, he's going to push him and himself clear of Hunter. And he's going to jump at, oh, he's regretting that decision right there. He might not though. That second lane seems to be pretty quick. Getting people clear of that bottom, as we've already seen. Oh, another big checkup there, yeah. Big checkup. That just completely spread that outside line out. That outside line is gone now.
Yeah, they are crumbling quickly. No tight formation, and you can see the 21 of Holloway abandoned ship, drops down to the inside, and as that's going on, the 7 has been abandoned by the 26. They're going to go 3 wide for the race lead. The Remembering Ryan 19 machine all the way up to the top shelf by himself briefly, and now he's got some help from the 21 of Holloway, Wilder, and J.R. Johnson in that third lane. And man, they're moving and shaking and baking things here very quickly.
Yeah, 21's really showing his strengths as a pusher, pushing him in the 19 clear. Unfortunately, they're going to get sucked right. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 21 and the 31. I don't know if that was intentional or if they were just trying to break up a run, but they're starting to ramp it up. We thought it was going to get a little scrappy earlier in the race on lap 6-7 when we had that first caution. But I think as this race goes on, patience is going to wear thin, and it's going to get more and more scrappy. Maybe we might even see 4 wide KR. You never know.
4 wide at Talladega is not outside of the question. Quick check in on some of the drivers not in this lead pack. The 27 of Sean Stevens, the 82 of Dan Harrington. They find themselves about 15.2 seconds behind our race leader with Michael Hinton in the 63. That is 3 cars right there. Then you have Chris Akers and DJ Mitzel as 17th and 18th spot for those 2 drivers. Everyone else kind of in this lead pack, including the only car 1 lap down, the 3 of Paul Servant.
Yeah, he's just hanging in there. He was in front of the pack at some point, but the carousel of flopping positions is ever turning, and he's going to go up to that top side. He might be dropping out with how racy these guys are getting. Maybe wants to play a little bit safer, as these guys are going at it lap after lap, not giving an inch really. And that middle line starting to form more and more. We've seen when people get that middle line formed up, whoever's leading it usually gets cleared. The 91 of Sean Wilder goes to the top. He's going to be joined by the 37 of J.R. Johnson. They're going to fall back in line, not really have anything going on. They're going to take another stab at it. see if the 37 goes with him. 37 fills the spot. Sorry, the 57. Oh, no, he is the 30. That is a weird number 3. Looks like a 5. But fills the spot, takes it from him. He's going to fall in behind the 88 of Dana Osborne. And that outside line's formed up. And the 31 of Todd Poston's going to get a really good run out of turn 2. He's going to get clear. If he clears, he's going to be close. And he jumps down to the bottom as they go into turn number 3.
Todd, your race leader in the 31, Dana Osborne in the 88, trying to work that outside lane. About 20 laps on a tank of fuel from last time. I'd expect if we don't get a caution, this one's going to be a little bit shorter.
Whoa.
We have been out here racing for 12 laps on this fuel tank, so about another 6-7 laps. I think we'll see these guys be planning to hit pit road. One thing...
That'll probably be the final stop also.
Yeah, that is another thing to plan for, trying to get that final stop in.
Didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying, though?
I don't know if we're going to get that final stop in that close.
It'll, I mean, this is, I think this coming pit stop is going to be the last stop. These guys are probably going to try to take this as far as they can. I think some of them went 21 or 22 laps on a tank, so...
It'd be a stretch. It's gonna be a stretch.
It'd be close.
Any time you don't have to hit pit road, one less pit stop that you can make. Oh, trouble! The 31 is gonna go around.
Oh, I thought he was gonna get it woed up just enough, and got tagged by the 44 there.
Yellow flag coming out. Let's take a look at this one. It's a 31. Got out of shape.
Like a bad bump from the 21 there.
Right in front of the field, and really only one car getting involved in this one, and that is the 31, Anthony English. Hunter Reynolds getting a little piece of that 31 as he was out of control, but for being out in front of the field, that is a very very lucky yellow flag for our drivers.
Yeah, that was it almost looked like so there was no way the 31 was gonna save it there with how he was weaving back and forth trying to get that car load up, and that was good heads up driving by everybody behind him to really kind of fan out. Like you said, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds got tagged a little bit trying to avoid it, and just when you see a car locking up, sliding down the track, and you're locking up too, like we saw the 44 of Anthony English hit Todd there and still got a little bit of damage. So I mean, it was just it's definitely gonna be a one-stop race after this pit stop right here, KR.
Yeah, it's gonna throw all those plans out the window that I was making up in my head.
I mean, plans change, especially around here at the beautiful super speedway tracks. Change all the time.
All right, so here they come on to pit road. Donald Sadusky leading the field in the 19, and nobody really under pressure to hit pit road speed limit from 200 miles an hour. So not a lot of brake lockup.
Yeah. And now 19's got a huge lead in pit road also. That 19's been looking pretty strong all night. As the 26 of Hunter Reynolds slides his box right in front of the 19. Is that a 4-tire stop? No, that was a 2-tire stop. 19 Donald Stusky's gonna lead the field off of pit road, being followed by the 37 of J.R. Johnson and the 91 of Sean Wilder. We saw them a few car links off the back of this pack there, and got caught right back up right before that caution happened. Luckily, we're able to avoid most of it and not really get involved too badly. And they're now going to be lining up P2 and P3, as long as they didn't speed on pit road.
All right. And with that being said, one driver who's very happy about this caution is the 3 of Paul Servant.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
And now we'll get everyone bunched back up and back on the lead lap. The 7-Eleven of Stephen Herman. Looks like maybe his night is done. He's still sitting on pit road, but he's been there for the last 22 minutes. Not sure what happened to him, but that 7-Eleven machine not done being scored, but looks like it's gonna be hard to come back and win this one from as far back as he is.
Yeah, I don't even think Paul Servant's luck will be able to help Steven there. Yeah, I don't know what happened. He pulled off of the apron and hit the brakes and went like 2 more laps and hit pit road. Hopefully everything's fine there.
We'll find out.
I'm gonna do a little investigation work and ask him real quick.
All right, a few more drivers maybe gonna drop to the rear here and pull on the pit lane and top off their fuel tank. Here they go. Mark Mann leading this group that pulls on the pit lane. Gonna take the penalty that it brings and put themselves with a little extra fuel.
A little splash of fuel. You're in the long line on the bottom. That's also something you can think about too. When you go down pit road at 1 to go, you line up at the end of the longest line, and that's usually the bottom line. So you don't really have to worry about trying to get to the bottom and worry about that. You can just kind of chill out if you want to chill out, not really push too hard, and save a little bit of fuel if you need to, which I don't think anybody's going to be saving fuel now that we are essentially a one-stop race now.
Yeah, sitting 30 laps away from the end of our scheduled distance when this green flag comes out. You have a one-stop race, no matter how you want to look at that. And so that being said, having that little extra splash of fuel means you spend just that little less on pit road if we have a green flag pit stop.
Yeah.
Or
And
even if it's another yellow flag pit stop, you're saving precious time on pit lane.
and every second counts too. And I just got a update about the 7-Eleven team. He's had some internet issues, so I don't think he's going to be pulling it back out on track tonight. Believe he is doing race control, so he's doing a thankless job that everybody absolutely loves.
Oh, poor guys.
Yeah.
All the race control.
Yeah. If anybody out there watching, if you do race control for a league or anybody, thank you, because I know you don't hear that enough. KR, pace cars pulling off. Big line of cars on the inside line, only 3 cars on the outside. 37 J.R. Johnson, 62 of Les Levy, and the 51 of Jason Grands. Gonna try to fight off this long inside line, and I'm assuming a lot of people in that inside line are gonna jump to that middle and make a run. When the green flag comes out and they get across that start-finish line, green flag does come out. Drivers stomp on that loud pedal. The 19 of Donald Sadusky leading the massive pack on the inside. The first cars to jump up to that second line. 88 of Dana Osborne, the 63 of Michael Hinton, followed by a few other cars in the back. Inside line got a great restart there. 91 of Sean Wilder was. That 37 gave him the biggest break right there, KR. Oh my goodness.
Right? That was a close one. We're 3 wide now, and I don't think the 51 of Graham's wants to be 3 wide, but here we are, and he's going to stay up in that third lane. Michael Hinton in the 63 trying to get to him. But the 19, your race leader, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, right on his back bumper. And all right, you got one more pit stop to go for sure in this race. You have everybody out on track on the lead lap. That is 19 cars. Any one of these 19 cars, as long as they are on the lead lap, has a shot at winning this race. And a lot of that is because first to 19th place separated by 1 second right now.
Yep, and it's only going to get closer, I bet. I have a feeling this field is going to stack up 3 wide, and it's going to be well within a second as...
Oh, more contact. 26 goes around. Dana Osborne holding on to it. Jason Graves saves it, but at the back is chaos. Reynolds involved. Mark Mann trying to pick his way through. Hunter Reynolds smoking. Yellow flag coming out once again.
Yeah, it looks like... I mean, Les filled the spot, the 37, following the 91 down the track, and went right across Les's nose. I mean, that's just, you got to listen to your spotter there. Yeah, Les well onto his quarter panel, essentially touching at his rear wheel, and that's what collected a lot of the field. The 26 of Hunter Reynolds, like you said. 88 of Dana Osborne got a big hit. A lot of cars got junked up from that.
Take another look at this one. You see the 62 is there, and the 37 just didn't get a good call there from his spotter. Everyone slides down to the inside, a self-cleaning track.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about these high banked slopes, you know? Yeah. What goes up will definitely come right back down, so it's always something to think about if you're in the back of the field. You see guys going up, go up, because they probably won't be there. At least you hope not, because you think physics works the right way. But the 19 of Donald Sadusky is going to lead the field once again into pit lane, followed by the 91 in the 37 there.
Yeah, everyone coming onto pit road once again. Dana Osborne in the 88, very slow, making his way. So again, no one able to make it on fuel from here. So we still have one more pit stop to go. I would have thought saw a lot more drivers out, but everyone kind of feeling the same thought process here to set themselves up for the end of the race.
A lot of people fixing damage also too. So, but yeah, you hit pit road now, like you said earlier. Last time you spin on pit road during a green flag stop or under caution. If everybody keeps doing it, you're not going to lose positions. As long as you can hit your box and hit your marks just right and get out ahead and not lose a position, why not? And it can't hurt. Save you a bit of time later in the race when you really need that little bit of time. But after the field got collected by that massive pileup, looking through the drivers out here, looks like Hunter Reynolds had a tow. Fortunately, he's going to be at least a lap or 2 down. I might get it out before the I believe that is the 26's night, unfortunately. So 26 Hunter Reynolds not finishing this race tonight. I don't know where I don't know. I think he was pretty safe in terms of points. Correct, KR?
He was clear up at the top in second place coming into tonight.
So not too much stress there if he's gonna make it in pretty comfortably. But the other guys, though, laps are winding down, and those points paying opportunities getting smaller and smaller each lap as they go by.
Yeah, Dana Osborne in the 88 was one of the drivers coming in on the bubble. He came into tonight's race 12th in the point standings. With Todd Poston in just 4 points behind him when they started this race. And now as the 31 is going to be restarting on the outside of row number 2, Osborne has pulled his way onto pit lane, topped off his fuel tank, with Hunter Reynolds dropping out of this race, his night being done, and Stephen Herman being done. Now you're looking at drivers finishing in 18th spot or better as attrition takes its toll. If one of your competitors is not one of these drivers dropping out, it gets harder and harder for them to have a bad finish.
Yeah, as the field wears thinner, the guy, I feel like if one of the guys who's very tight on points, if they have issues, even if they had a busted up car, I guarantee they'd still be running laps around the apron if they had to, if it meant getting into that final 12 spots. And those guys that are just on the outside peeking in, or the guys on the inside that are trying to hold on to their spot, they're going to become more and more desperate to keep those points or gain those points, and we're going to see a lot of risk taking. I hope we're going to see a lot of guys sitting in these last couple laps, but I think it's going to be a pretty interesting final. What is that, about 25 laps at the line for the end of the race? So a third of the race to go, and I think it's the most important third of the race, KR.
It usually is. Donald Sadusky in his third start of the season. He is solely here to win the race. He is not out for points. He is out for a race win, and right now he's got that preferred spot, front row inside, as he brings this field to the tri-oval. On his outside, the 91 of Sean Wilder, another driver just looking to pick up a win as well. So you got two drivers on the front row looking for a win, and everyone else maybe trying to think about points racing if they can't get a win.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously you want to go for the win, but if you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to score good points and not really ruin your own race, do what you got to do. It's the 91. Not quite clear of Donald Sadusky on the bottom there. Not going to get clear. The 37's doing a good job keeping the 19 ahead. Not necessarily ahead, but keeping the 91 at bay. He's going to clear himself right across the nose of that 19 there. As they go into turn 3, the 19's going to jump right up to the top.
He said, "No, I don't think so. I want to."
Yeah. He's been running so strong tonight too. I know there's going to be the broadcaster curse, but he's been, whenever he's at the front and he's second in line, he'll wait for that run to form up and go right back down to leading the race. Because you're going to see him not quite clear John Wilder on the bottom there. The 37's doing a great job. That's a great push from the 37.
Yeah, J.R. Johnson really shoved that 91 to the front for the moment. The 19, remembering Ryan Machine, gonna charge right back here in just a moment, but 3-wide motorsports driver, the 31 of Todd Poston, still in that second spot right now in that outside lane and pushing hard on the 19. Started out pushing on the 91, now he's pushing on the 19, and Todd, one of those drivers who like to pick up a win here.
Yeah, he's in that close battle with the 88 of Dana Osborne, if I remember correctly, and Dana is in 17th place, so definitely has the points spread on him if they score it by position. But the still a long race to go. Anything can happen, as we're still 2 by 2. Not really pushing too hard, and as I say that outside line gets a massive move. That 19 Donald Sadusky is going to drop to the bottom, clear the 91 of Sean Wilder. A lot of numbers that are 1 and 9 and 9 and 1. My brain is starting to get scrambled, but they're going at it, and it's not going to change. But 2 by 2, and KR, I believe that's the whole field within a second.
Our entire field from start to from the front of the field to the back is less than a second separation, as Daniel Holloway in the 21 is 0.97 seconds behind our race leader, the 19.
And it's gonna get even tighter. I said it earlier, as people start to get more and more desperate. They want to go to that top line.
And the four of Chris Akers went from the bottom to the top, just as you were saying that. Had an opening and sliced all the way to the top lane, but no one went with him, and he's going to lose some spots. So I don't know if that was by plan or what, but he is back there with his teammate Daniel Holloway.
Yeah, that whenever you get Reese's, you always get two, and there's two of them right at the back of the field. And I'm wondering if they're trying to plan something, maybe plan for some pit stops here, or make a run from the back when they can. And that 91 is going to clear the 19. We're going to change numbers once again up front. And the 19 is going to go right back to the top. So they are not taking any time riding in line, and I think that outside line is going to get to the point. We've seen drivers jump to that third line and really try to make something work, and when it kind of falls off, they kind of just fall back in line. I think that's kind of the cordial thing to do. If you can't really make a push to the front and make a pass, it's kind of good etiquette to fall back in line and clear up that outside line. But I think once we get in those 10, 15 to go, 10 to go, you're going to see that outside line be clogged the entire way around for the remainder of the race if they can. And 19 is going to clear that 91 once again. Whole lot of lead swaps just between these two drivers right here all night, KR.
Yeah, the 19 and the 91 really taking full advantage of a battle at the front of the field, and anytime there's an opening for that second car on the inside lane to slide up to make the pass, they are pulling the trigger and making that move. Meanwhile, the 31, he keeps allowing it because he's giving some room to these drivers down on the bottom lane. We still have 19 laps to go when they get to the start-finish line this time, so trying to be a little conservative, but at some point you got to quit letting them mix it up, because it could be you gets taken out.
Yeah, I've been in that situation before, and every time they do it, it just chips away at your patience, and eventually he'll get to the point where they make that move up to the top, and he might shoot it to the outside and not let him do it again. At least that's what I would do, as 91's not going to get a chance that time. A little bit of a checkup behind the 51 there. Yeah, and that Jimmy Reynolds is doing everything he can to make sure that the 91 can't get in front of the 31 there. Doing a great job right now, and that could just be them, being a little bit patient, playing that long game, maybe make that move around the outside. We had I believe we got the 7 of Josh Milan back up here, and the 04 Mark Mann sneaking back up. He was riding in the back about mid-race, and he's up here running in the top 10, top 5 even. And the 28, 04, and 7 are all under that Alliance Motorsports team stable. So if the 28 makes a move, I would assume that they go with him.
Down the back stretch they go, the 31 and the 19, very close quarters down the back stretch, and Todd in trouble. Hip checks the 19 as we had a big push from Jimmy Reynolds.
Ooh.
And they're not done crashing just yet.
Yeah, and there goes that broadcaster's curse. There goes the 19 Donald Sadusky back to the mid-pack, but field is scrambling 3 wide. Nobody really in line. The only 2 people linked up are the 04 and the 7 and the leader 91 and 37. Everybody else kind of scrambling for position. And the 04 Mark Van's going to jump into line right behind the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds. And KR, I believe we are well within the pit window, bringing the race with a few extra laps of fuel for green-white checkers. The 7 of Josh Milam's going to jump down to the bottom, and I think we're going to see pit stops here this lap and the next coming laps around.
Yeah, the fuel window is open to make it to the end of this race. I'm with you. I think I'd like to get a couple extra laps in. They do have the fuel in the tank to get those extra laps in. to cover a green-white checkered attempt. Last on pit road, lap 48, and we start work on lap 59 here. 16 laps to go in this race. I'd say, maybe in about 5 laps you come down pit road.
I think you're going to see
anywhere from here on out. We're going to see it from this point to at most 7 laps, I believe. And your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I think if it's me, I don't want to pit later than 65. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of the field hit pit road in the next 2 to 3 laps, realistically, if not most of the field this time by. And
here comes several drivers.
Oh, and there's brakes locking up everywhere. And something else wasn't really not really talked about a whole lot, but they updated the smoke effects, and the smoke is very hard to see through. So those guys that are locking up the tires, locking their brakes up, sliding those tires, making it very hard for guys to follow to see. But right now we have the 28 and the 04 with a healthy 3 car length lead over Paul Servant right now, and that's going to fall away very quickly as the 28 is going to keep the lead. I don't see the 3 of Paul Servant's going to go up high. No help really. You got 3, 4, 5, 6 teammates lined up all on the bottom. I think they're going to be hitting pit road this time by, and there goes those Alliance Motorsports boys. So the only people really out on the track are the Candy Shack Motorsports team and the 51 of Jason Grams and 63 of Michael Hinton. And hopefully the 63 falls in line with him and hits pit road so he has a group of drivers to pit with. And it looks like
Candy Shack Motorsports trying to do an extra lap here, maybe another extra 2 laps. Who knows what their plan is? They still have a little bit of fuel in the tank to make that stop whenever they would like. 3 Wide Motorsports drivers, the 61 of DJ Mitzel, the 31 of Todd Poston. They've made their pit stop and they are back out on track, and they're getting ready to they were one of the first group of drivers to hit pit road. They're going to flash by this group who just hit pit lane. Go ahead.
The Candy Shack group just hit pit road along with the 51 and the 63. So they all got on pit road very quietly. No real big lockups. They were kind of just there. And as I say that, the 51 and the 88 made contact. They kind of got stuck together for a second. Hopefully that doesn't hurt them too bad on time, but
the 51 still not in his pit stall, so he is in trouble. Jason Graham's gonna have a hard time getting his car rolling. Paul Servant in the 3 down and away, but here comes our group of drivers who have made pit stops. They're gonna make quick work of this 3rd group of drivers. The 91 of Sean Wilder, full song, getting ready to pass quite a few drivers here who are still down on the apron.
Yeah, and I think that's just they waited a little bit too long. The field got put back together way too. They had too many laps running together. As the 3 and the 21 are going to have their work cut out for them, trying to catch back up. They'd probably be able to latch onto this lead pack here, but following it's going to be difficult for. I believe that's the 82, 62, 27, 4, and the 88. They're going to have their work cut out to catch up. They should, given how many laps are left. But back up to the front, we have a couple familiar numbers in the form of the 91 and the 19 going back at it once again, racing for that lead, as the 37 of J.R. Johnson is giving that 19 all he's got, and he's driving that Toyota Supra, which has got a pretty pointy nose, so it's interesting car to push with. He's giving everything he can. He's doing a great job tonight, keeping that 19 up there. And the 91's gonna jump up in front of the 19, and the 19 said, "See you later, bud." And he's gonna go to the high side. He's gonna get no help. He is definitely gonna drop back there. Oh, contact! Big wiggle from the 19. 19's gonna fall back to the back of the pack, and here comes the couple Candy Shack men. Les Levy trying to squeeze up in front of that 4. and they're going to fall back in line. Almost got a little bit hectic right there, KR, as they come to the line for lap 65.
Laps starting to wind down. 3 wide motorsports at the front with Todd Poston in the 31 machine. Sean Wilder in the 91 right there as well. JR Johnson. Ooh, Ryan Sadusky getting muscled out by the 61. He tried to squeeze down behind JR, but DJ had a good run there. And now we have 3 wide racing with 11 laps to go. I don't know about you, Travis, but I have a feeling that this is maybe going to see a caution before we get to the checker.
Yeah, they're getting very scrappy. The like he was trying to find a place in line, found one right in front of the 80 of Dana Osborne, who looked like he was going to fill the position before the 19 could get there. The 91 of Sean Wilder with a healthy lead over that inside line. Mark Mann's going to go up to the top, try to go 3 wide, not going to get really any help. Going to fall back in line in front of his teammate. And the 37 and 91 are going to clear. But we have the 3 wide motorsports drivers of 31 and the 61 linked up. They're going to go right on past the 91 there. Looked like the 91 tried to block that line a little bit. Didn't want to commit too hard to the block. And it really didn't pay off for him at all. And
Mark Mann in the 04 being shuffled out, dropping back as he is in that 3rd lane. Not a whole lot of help for that 04 machine.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more calculated moves at outside. It's going to be teammates with teammates, unless you have a couple really desperate drivers trying to make a move to that outside, forming up, see what they can do. And the 31's in front of the 91 now, so great pushing by teammates there to lock out that front row. But
yeah,
oh,
Todd in need of a big points run. DJ not so much, and he's pushed his teammate to the race lead. How can they hold it together for 9 or about 8.5 laps?
Mark Mann got a huge head of steam, almost hit right into the back of the 88. Josh Milam's going to get shuffled out by the 19. 19's going to fill the gap, but the 19's also going to... Oh, he almost got left out, but Mark Mann's going to go up to the top with the 7 there. So we have the 19 wiggling all over the road, trying to push that 61 clear. We have 2 cars on that 3rd line pushing that outside, Josh Milam and Mark Mann. No real help. They're going to fall back in line as we're side by side, 6 cars deep, as laps are winding down more and more. So you can already see that people are being very stingy with who they're trying to help on that top side if they can get anybody to go up there. Big checkup on the outside, though.
2 drivers who we've been keeping an eye on because of their point situation, the 31 and the 88. Lo and behold, the 88 is right off the quarter panel of the 31 machine. Just a few cars to the outside lane. Dana Osborne in that 88 trying to stay in the points. The 31 trying to get into there. That's playoff picture going to be a whole lot more complete here in about 7 laps.
Yeah, and you have the 91 jumping back down to the bottom. No help, though. 61 of DJ Mitchell is going to get a huge shove by the 19 of Donald Sadusky. Get the 61 clear. The 91 ever so slightly. The 31 is going to give Sean Wilder a great push and not allow the 61 of DJ Mitchell to clear the bottom. In that outside... Oh, okay. The 31 of Todd Poston going to jump up in front of his teammate now. And yeah. I think you have a hungry backfield who are about to try to make the outside line work again.
The 88 jumping up to the 3rd lane. Josh Milam said no thank you. Slides down to his inside. So Dana Osborne going to get shuffled out here. We got 6 laps to go, and a lot of people trying this outside lane, but as soon as anyone jumps up there, someone drops down to the inside to fill the hole they've left.
Yep, it's just being stingy and needed teammates. The 91 try to block that middle line. Todd Poston's just going to walk right around the outside of him, drop all the way to the bottom almost. The 28 of Jimmy Reynolds giving JR Johnson a great push. We're 3 wide. That outside line's finally formed up. And I would assume that middle line was going to run a little bit higher, not let not let the outside line pinch them down like they are, and they're going to fall back in line once again. I believe that is the 61 of DJ Mitchell getting shuffled out now with the 82 of Daniel Harrington quite a ways off his bumper. And I really thought the 88 of Dan Osborne was going to go to the top, and his teammates were going to come from the back there and try to make a push at the end, because we have 3 Candy Shack drivers just hanging out at the back of the field. I don't know if they're expecting... Oh, and there's the caution.
Caution flag coming out with 5 to go. Les Levy involved. Chris Akers. The 91 of Sean Wilder getting a piece of that. The yellow flag coming out. Take a look at what happened here. Coming off of turn number 2, the 91 going to get turned. Les Levy gets involved.
Little bad touch from the 19 there coming out of the turn. Now the real question is, do we see people hit pit road?
Ah, that is a good question.
I mean, they definitely got enough fuel. Only about 12 laps of racing on this tank. I think if you're in the back, you might as well come down, take a splash. You're up in the front, you can't lose that track position, but will track position really matter with how aggressive these guys are being?
Well, you know what? I say we'll find out when they form up behind the pace car and make it back to the front stretch.
And that we will. And your race leader is the 37 of Jared Johnson. At least that's how it's being scored for me. A lot of the field got tied up in that wreck a little bit. The only one on pit road currently is the 62 of Les Levy, but he got the car out back up onto the racing surface. And it looks like you're going to see people with damage hit pit road, even people who have damage. Who is that car behind Josh Milam? That is
Anthony
44
English.
of Anthony English with no front end. Gonna make it last until he needs to. I love the
I believe the 44 is
right
out of fast repairs.
Yeah, he's gonna slap that that modified looking front end around the track and see what he can do. And I mean, if he's on the lap KR, you never know where you're gonna finish, really.
Yeah, I've seen torn up race cars do their best, struggle, and then because everyone is crashing on the last lap, that torn up race car, not involved in those big crashes, picks its way through and ends up on the podium.
Yeah, and it's mainly because they're not up there with the big pack of cars, so they pretty much get a get out of jail free card, so to speak, and can kind of avoid any kind of incidents that they would be involved in just because they're slightly underpowered and can't really keep up.
So we're gonna go into overtime and have our first attempt at a green-white checkered here. I believe so. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Is it gonna do the green and white at the same time? Because that's what would happen. I don't know. That's another question. We'll gotta wait and see. We're not officially into overtime yet. We're working lap 73, or I should say 72. Green flag gonna come out.
I think it should be. I think it should extend it this time.
I believe it has as well, but without really having the information from race control, kind of hard to tell.
Trying to listen to the me being a driver, I kind of have a little bit of I can hear the spotter tell me when it's time to go. The race is going to be extended. Listening for it right now.
When the lights are going to go out on the pace car here.
And the race is going to be extended. So yeah, this is our first attempt.
All right, first attempt at a green-white checkered. Sean Wilder still sitting on pit road. Looks like his night could be done as extensive damage to the 91 machine. Tough luck for the 91. Had a car capable of winning. Put on a heck of a show for us as he battled with the 19 of Donald Sadusky, but in the end, damaged too much. And Sean Wilder going to end up, hopefully, can get out there and cross the start-finish line, but probably not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I believe he just called it a night there.
His scorecard.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a great showing by him tonight, racing for that lead, showing what he's capable of. Makes me look forward to maybe seeing him do a full season next season. We saw him hop in about halfway through the season this year. But like you said, he was just going for some wins when he could.
Yeah, he's had 4 starts this season. This was his 4th start. So each time at 91 machine, it's been running up front.
And gaining more and more confidence out on track with these drivers, and sometimes that's all you need. You just need a little bit of self-confidence and confidence in your ability, and that just builds from running laps. And you could see that by how he was racing tonight. Definitely felt comfortable in the Xfinity cars. It seemed very quickly, and a lot of these guys adapting very well to the Xfinity cars. Of course, we have a lot of great drivers in here, so I wouldn't expect anything less. But yeah, pace cars coming off a turn 4K at our first attempt at a green-white checkered.
All right, here we go. Down and away goes the pace car. J.R. Johnson looking for his first win of the season. Johnson pretty far down the points order. I'm not sure a win would even get him into the top 12, but nonetheless, he still would love to have a win. Top posting in the 31. Another driver looking for that win. Everyone here desperate for a win for one reason or another. As the green flag comes out, we are going to get this back underway in our first attempt at a green-white checkered.
Yeah, and that outside line got a great start. 7 of Josh Milam giving Todd Poston a great push. And of course, there's one Candy Shack driver peeking to the outside mid-pack, 21 of Daniel Holloway. And he's going to fall back in line. He has 2 teammates behind him and one on the inside, as Todd Poston's going to get a great show by the 7 of Josh Milam. And there comes the team being led by the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Chris Akers on the apron. Going to find space and bring it back up on track, and we're 3 wide. But 21 being pushed hard by his teammate. And Carol, when that white flag comes out, this race is official, and you're bringing it back checkers or wreckers as they come out of turn 4 to the white flag through the triangle.
3 wide motorsports. Todd Poston in the 31 trying to get this one done. Daniel Holloway in the 21 saying, I'm going to use this outside lane to disrupt all of your plans. Dana Osborne in the 88 right there as well.
Driver
still
getting caught in
pushing
the middle.
hard.
27 of Sean Stevens getting caught in the middle, separated that Candy Shack team out. Daniel Holloway still leading that outside line. The third lane fell away. The 88 tight on his teammate's bumper. They're going to go to the inside. 7 of the 7 to 37. Todd Poston's going to hold that inside line. We're going to have a drag race to the finish out of turn 4.
Oh, they're crashing.
Behind.
Big crash at the back. Several cars involved, but nothing at the front. We're going to stay right here. Is the 31 trying to bring home his first win of the season. And as they get ready to cross the start-finish line, it is going to be the 31 machine.
What a drag race out of the turn 4. Big wreck in the back. Didn't mess with the guys up front. And they sent that thing around as they could full steam as the 7 of Josh Milam does a few barrel rolls and lands on his wheels.
Let's take a quick peek at the crash behind. Donald Sadusky gets involved. He takes a hard tumble through the air. The 44 involved. Les Levy gets a piece of it. Dan Harrington as well. But as they were coming to the start finish line, the 31 is going to pick up the win.
And a much needed win. Not to. He was in that tight race with Dana Osborne, and I think that win there is going to help him get over that small points gap that he had on the 88. 88 still finished in 4th place, so it's going to be close on points still.
Yeah, it's going to be very close in the points here as the 31 makes his way down onto the start finish line for celebrations. And let's go ahead and get started with our post-race show by talking to the driver who picked up the win here tonight, and that is none other than the Salty Zombies 3-wide motorsports driver, Todd Poston. Todd, congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, you pick up the win here tonight in the final regular season race, and points being what they are, that still may not be enough to be in the top 12.
I think if my team is telling me right, I'm going to be in by 1 point. By leading that lap, yeah, I'll be in by 1 point.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was a wild race. The 31 machine, as usual, coming from the back. No qualifying time, and here you are in victory lane.
Yeah, start from the back. That's usually try and see how the race develops, and I figured I'd run a new paint. Hopefully people would see me. I think it worked out. It's a kind of a hard car to miss.
Travis Elliott thought the blue wheels were a nice touch.
Yeah, it matched with the paint amazingly enough.
All right, man. Well, a race win here tonight. Final race of the regular season, in by 1 point by the teammates' estimation. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on the race win. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, I got to thank DJ Mitzel, Steven Herman, and definitely got to thank Josh Milam there for pushing me to the win.
All right, your 3-wide motorsports driver, Todd Poston, in the 31, getting it done here tonight. Once again, congratulations, Todd.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Travis, race winner in the books with an excellent finish. Now let's move on to the driver who finished in second, and that is none other than Daniel Holloway. And Travis, this one's on you.
21 Daniel Holloway, you got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir, I do.
What a race to the finish there, giving it everything you got with your teammate, Dana Osborne. Saw y'all making a lot of moves on that last lap during that green-white checkered. A lot of things happening. What was kind of going through your mind as the laps turned down, and kind of your guys' mindset throughout the race?
Well, we were kind of waiting to see if there was going to be a big wreck before 2 to go, and we were just kind of riding in the back of that pack, and we were going to make a move with 2 to go, and right there, there was a wreck in front of us, and that opened up, and that restart, not sure. DJ got a rough start, or didn't get a quite good start inside. Must have been slow or something, and boy, we just took off on that third line and wasn't looking back. I know Dana was on my bumper, and as soon as Todd and Josh cleared and got the inside, I told him go middle quick, and almost. That was pretty darn close, and what a finish there.
Yeah, coming down to just a front end, but I mean, if you had a couple hundred more feet, you maybe would have got him going. But Talladega is already pretty deep into the to turn one. But great showing by you guys. You boys at Candy Shack always finish well. You guys always look good, and you're gonna have some momentum going into the to the 3-race playoffs, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Hopefully, we get some a lot of drivers to show up during the playoffs, because every one of them in this league are really tough competitors, and glad we kind of switch out of the cup cars and put a show for you guys tonight.
Yeah, it was a blast to watch from up in the booth, man. But you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, anybody out there?
Yeah, shout out to Candy Shack boys, Dana, Akers, Paul, Sean Wilder kind of hanging with us, and bad luck for him tonight. Hate to see that. NSRA, Steven, as far as doing RC tonight, I think he had a little internet issues here and there. And turn 3, you guys gonna go watch it tonight again and see that ending on that broadcast. And all the fans out there, everybody's watching, family wise, Sarah, Amanda, guys at my work and stuff. So hopefully they enjoyed that.
All right, man. Look forward to seeing you next Sunday at I believe Daytona.
Yeah, it's a whole new season with the playoffs starting. So maybe you'll see double Reese's cups up front too.
I mean, you always get 2 in a pack.
That's right. We were close.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
job.
That is Daniel Holloway from the 21 machine. But now let's move on to our final podium finishing driver of the night, and that is the 7 of Josh Milam. Josh, you got your ears on, buddy?
On KR.
Man, I'll tell you what, this 3 machine coming in late to the party here on Sunday night, but 1 win and a bunch of podium finishes, and here you are once again in a podium finish. Josh, this 7 machine had a great race going here tonight.
Oh yeah, it was super fun. Kind of stayed toward the front as much as I could, and didn't really use much of those fast repairs. I got into a couple of incidents, missed a few. Luckily, I missed that final one there at the end. I was able to stay up front and push Todd to a win.
Well, the 7 machine a little torn up here, and we saw some wild action happening from time to time at the front. What was it like driving around this Talladega and the B cars here tonight?
B cars are always fun. Dega's always fun, of course. Get a lot of action going on here. It's much wider, but for a while it got a little sketchy up front, so I was kind of keeping my distance, watching what was happening. But like I said, towards the end, it doesn't matter what's happening. You just kind of got to get up there and go race, and that's what I did. And we got a podium here at NSRA.
All right, man. Well, an outstanding drive, outstanding finish. Any shout outs or thank yous you feel you need to give here?
Yep, shout out to you and Travis. These guys that put on this NSRA league on Sunday nights that let me join in here midway through the season. I needed that. I think I needed that win there to put me into that chase, but that's okay. No biggie. I was happy to push Todd, and shout out to Todd for winning that, and shout out to him for keeping it steady like he did. That I was able to just hook it to his back bumper and just follow him around the track. He made it really easy on me. And shout out to all those guys I'm racing with at Alliance, and all the viewers that come in here.
All right, that is Josh Milam, and Josh, congratulations on that 3rd place finish.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Got it done podium here tonight, but not enough to make it into the playoffs. That Travis, that's going to be one to see who all made it, who didn't, the points being as close as they were.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely clueless as to what the points look like. I don't really I don't have access to the standings, but I mean, I'll be just as surprised as everybody joins in next Sunday night to see who made it and who didn't. And I think even the guys who didn't make it are still going to go out there and try to win races when they can, though.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and look at our results for this one here tonight. Todd Poston picking up the win. Daniel Holloway, Josh Milam rounding out the podium with the 31. Dana Osborne and Sean Stevens round out your top 5.
The 37 of J.R. Johnson in 6th, 28 of Jimmy Reynolds in 7th, 61 of DJ Mitchell in 8th, the 4 of Chris Akers in 9th, and rounding at your top 10, the 3 of Paul Servant.
11th place goes to Mark Mann, Jason Graves 12th, 13th Michael Hinton, 14th Dan Harrington, and 15th goes to Anthony English.
In 16th place, the 62 of Les Levy. In 17th, the 19 of Donald Sadusky. In 18th, the 91 of Sean Wilder. Coming home in 19th, the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. And rounding out your final spot of the race, the 7-11 of Scorman Herman.
All right, guys, so that is going to wrap it up for us here tonight As always, thank you very much for joining us. And because he's such a superstar and can drive and broadcast at the same time, Travis, why don't you send us on our way home?
From everybody at Turn 3, thank you for tuning in. Hope you see you next week at the same time for the start of your 3-round chase, playoffs, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a scrappy 3 races to find out who's going to be the champion of this season. So you all have a great night tonight.